I funded my father's pathetic excuse for a life while he lied about job hunting. Then he bought my golden boy brother a motorcycle and spat, "You were an accident, a spare kid we kept around just in case. Be grateful. We let you exist." A week later, he threw a backyard party for my brother's college admission using the $10K my grandmother left me. I wasn't invited. When I texted him, he replied, "It's our money now. Your brother has a future. You don't. Stop acting like a loser." I replied, "Lose my number." That night, I did what they thought I'd never have the guts to do. Now they're losing it. My aunt leaving voicemails crying, "Your dad's collapsed. Your brother won't come out of his room. If you don't fix this, it's over for all of us." All right, so I never post on here, but this is just too much. And IDK, where else to put it? Maybe this is messy AF, but whatever. I just need to get it out and see if I'm actually crazy or if this is as nuts as it feels. If you read this whole thing, props to you. I'm open to getting roasted TBH. So, background. I'm Blake, 23, living with my dad, Jesus, and my younger brother, Emilio, 19. We are in Central California. My folks split ages ago. My mom dipped out of state with some guy, and we barely talk. My grandma, Dad's mom, died last year. Left me a chunk of money. 10 grand. Not life-changing, but not nothing. I work remote, grind out hours, pay most of the bills. My dad lost his job during COVID and just never really got back on his feet. He says he's job hunting every week, but NGL, I haven't seen him wear anything but sweatpants since like 2022. So, this is where it starts. A few months ago, Jesus starts dropping these weird little lines at dinner. Stuff like, "Maybe you'll actually pull your weight for once or your brother's got promise. You do good to learn from it." Honestly, I brushed it off. He's always been that guy. Emilio's always been golden. Classic case. Good at sports, gets decent grades, doesn't mouth off. I'm the older one, but whatever. I'm not the favorite. I can live with that. But lately, these digs have gotten more direct. Like, he'll just say, "You'd be lost without me." And when I ask what jobs he's applied to, he gets pissed off and says, I should respect him. Then a few weeks back, I come home from getting groceries that I paid for again. And he's sitting on the couch scrolling TikTok telling me he's got a lead on some gig. His phone rings. He doesn't even answer. Instead, he asked me for $40 for gas to get to the interview. I send him the cash on Venmo, and he never leaves the house. I started noticing stuff like that. Little things. He'd ask me for cash for a train ticket or parking, but then I'd see him at home all day. He'd say he was at a job fair, but there'd be leftovers from lunch in the fridge. I asked Emilio once if Dad had actually gone anywhere. He just shrugged like IDK. I'm not his babysitter. Whatever, bro. So, fast forward. Grandma's will comes through. She was always old school. Didn't trust online banking. So, she left me a check, but the account was still in Dad's name because you're not responsible enough yet, Blake. I was pissed, but I didn't fight it. I figured, okay, just need to be patient. He'll hand it over. But then, like a week after, Emilio starts talking about how he wants a new motorcycle. He's got a crappy one already. But suddenly, he's showing me pics on Reddit of these fancy ones, dropping not so subtle hints about how maybe he'll get lucky this year. I ignore it. Meanwhile, Dad's still asking me for cash for job hunting. And I'm still covering rent, internet, utilities, groceries, you name it. Then out of nowhere, one Friday night, I come home and there's this shiny new motorcycle in the driveway. Emilio's out there with a couple friends all hyped. I ask him where the hell it came from and he just grins and says, "Guess Dad finally came through." I go inside and ask Jesus like, "Did you really just drop thousands on a bike?" He looks at me dead serious and says, "Money's for people who make something of themselves." I kind of lose it. I'm not proud of it, but I started yelling. He tells me I need to learn my place. Says I'm lucky he even lets me stay in his house. I remind him I pay the bills. That grandma left me that money. He just laughs. Tells me I should be grateful he's not charging me back rent for all the years I was living here as a kid. At some point, I slam the fridge door just to have something to do with my hands. Emilio comes in, starts mouthing off, saying, "It's not my money. It's family money, and I'm just jealous." I tell him to watch himself. He smirks and walks out. So, I step outside to get some air and I see neighbors watching from across the street. I don't even care at this point. My phone buzzes. It's group chat with my cousins blowing up about some party Emilio's having next weekend. I scroll up. Turns out it's a backyard thing for his college admission. He got into his dream school. Whatever. Good for him. But the kicker, I wasn't even invited. Not a word to me. And apparently, it's happening at our house with my money. I text my dad because I'm not about to go back inside and deal with him face to face. I say, "You spent grandma's money, didn't you?" He replies, "It's our money now. Your brother has a future. You don't. Stop acting like a loser." Then for good measure, he adds, "You were an accident. A spare kid we kept around just in case. Be grateful we let you exist." I just stare at my phone for like 5 minutes, not even knowing what to say. I send back "Lose my number." He leaves it on read. The next day, I wake up, go to grab some breakfast, and my stuff's been moved out of my room, like all my clothes, my laptop, everything. Stuffed into boxes in the hallway. Dad says it's for the party. They need the space. I should make myself scarce for a while. I tell him to F off and reach for my box. He shoves me. I shove him back. He tries to tell me I'm being dramatic, that I should go stay at a friend's if I can't handle family priorities. Emilio's standing there watching, not saying a thing, just enjoying the show. IDK, man. I'm not some saint, but I'm not stupid either. I get why Dad's like this kind of. He's always been obsessed with Emilio doing better than him. Like he thinks if Emilio succeeds, he's redeemed for all the ways he feels like a failure. With me, it's like he needs a scapegoat. Someone to dump all his bitterness on. Like I'm the backup plan. The one he tolerates because he has to. But this is next level. I'm not just going to roll over. I've put up with this crap for years, but taking my inheritance and handing it straight to Emilio, then telling me I'm a mistake. Nah. So now I'm sitting here surrounded by my own boxes listening to them plan this big party for Emilio with my money, and I'm just done. I don't have a big master plan yet, but I'm not letting this slide. Not a chance. I got receipts. I got screenshots. I got zero patience left. Next week's going to look real different around here. Anyway, if anyone's got advice on not losing your mind when your own family treats you like a backup character, I'm all ears. But I'm about to make some noise. To be continued, I guess. I update 1. So, yeah, here's the update. And if you thought the last post was a train wreck, this part's just IDK. It's like finding out your whole family's been group chatting behind your back for years and you were the only idiot that didn't get the invite. Honestly, I should have seen it coming. Some of y'all in the comments called it. But living it is a whole difference level. Buckle up, I guess. So, after that mess with my stuff in boxes, I'm sleeping on a blow-up mattress in the basement because my room is reserved for guests for Emilio's party. It smells like old cat pee and mold. But I'm just glad I've got a door I can lock. First weird thing, I come upstairs Saturday morning to get coffee and my phone charger's gone. Not like misplaced, just vanished. I ask Emilio if he's seen it. He's making eggs, acting like he's on some cooking show, and he just stares at me like I'm speaking another language. Dad's nowhere, but his shoes are by the door, so I know he's home, just hiding in the bathroom. The party setup starts early. I'm trying to avoid everyone, but everywhere I go, there's random people. Cousins, my Aunt Maria, some of Emilio's friends from his old soccer team, even a couple neighbors. Aunt Maria corners me and asks if I'm going to be cool today because everyone's here for Emilio. Don't make it about yourself. I ask her if she knows where my inheritance went. She just sighs and says, "Your dad's doing his best, Blake. You know he's always been under pressure. You should support your brother. He's got real potential." Like, I'm just supposed to eat it and say thank you. I guess what really set me off was hearing my cousin Sheila joke about how Emilio's new bike is literally the only good thing that's happened in this house in years. Then she kind of glances at me and goes, "Oh, sorry, Blake. I forgot you're still here." Like I'm some leftover at a family barbecue. I get it. I'm not the favorite, but damn. Later, I check my phone and see the group chat from last night. Everyone's been talking about the party for days, sharing photos, making plans. Somehow, I got left off every invite. I ask Dad about it when I catch him in the hall. He's carrying a stack of paper plates. Like, that's his big contribution. And he just shrugs and says, "It's not your scene. You just bring the mood down. Go find something useful to do." I slam the bathroom door on the way out. I find out from my cousin Javier, who actually talks to me like a real person, that the whole family knew about the money. Apparently, it was decided at some family dinner a month ago that Emilio needed it for college, and I wouldn't use it right anyway. Nobody bothered to tell me, not even a heads up. I ask Javier if anyone thought this was kind of messed up. And he just looks at the floor and says, "It's not about you, bro. It's about what's best for the family, right?" Like, I'm not even part of it. It gets worse. I hear my dad bragging to some uncle about how he's finally got things under control and that Blake's just drifting. He'll figure it out or he won't. Like I'm not even in the next room. Emilio's walking around at his party showing off the bike, acting like he earned it. And everyone's just eating it up. He keeps making these little jabs like maybe you can ride it next year if you get your act together. At one point he bumps into me in the hallway and says, "You're not going to ruin this, right? Just keep your mouth shut for once." I'm trying to keep my cool, but it's honestly getting harder. I go out back for air and find my boxes moved again, shoved against the garage. I drag them inside. Dad sees me and says, "You're being selfish. This is Emilio's day. You can be a team player or you can leave." I tell him straight up, "You're just mad I'm not rolling over like usual." He gets in my face, pushes me. I push him right back harder. He actually looks surprised, like he didn't expect me to stand up for myself. He backs off, muttering something about respect, then slams his bedroom door. Honestly, in that moment, I realized this is just how it's always been. Dad only respects people who don't give him what he wants. He's never going to see me as anything but a backup plan. Emilio gets everything because he's what Dad wishes he could be. Popular, easy, doesn't ask questions. Me, I'm just a reminder of everything Dad didn't get right. I know that sounds whiny, but IDC, it's true. After the party, I start digging. I go through my texts, my old bank statement, every Venmo and Cash App transfer. I realize I've been paying for everything for months. Even stuff like Emilio's gym membership and Dad's streaming services. All while they're telling me I'm not contributing. I bring it up to Dad next and he just says, "You're lucky we let you stay here." I say, "I'm not staying. Not another damn day." Emilio tries to act tough. Says I'm being dramatic. But when I tell him I want my share of Grandma's money, he laughs and says, "You're just jealous because nobody ever believed in you." I tell him he's got no idea what's coming. He rolls his eyes, walks off with his friends. I hear him making fun of me out in the driveway, calling me a crybaby. I texted my Aunt Maria after asking if she really thought this was okay. She sends me this long thing about how family is complicated and sometimes sacrifices have to be made. And my dad just wants what's best for everyone. I tell her straight up, I'm not a sacrifice. She doesn't reply. So now I'm making a plan. I'm not just going to disappear. I'm not letting them walk all over me again. I got the receipts. I got every Cash App, every bill, every bank statement. I know where the money went and I know who signed for it, and I know how to make this hurt. Next update's not going to be me whining or asking for advice. I'm done playing backup. I'm about to make things real uncomfortable for everyone who thought I'd just take it. So yeah, stay tuned. It's about to get real. Update 2. So yeah, here's the update. I've never felt this level of rage in my life, and I'm not even going to act like I was cool about any of it. If you read my last post, You know, the whole family basically decided I was just background noise, and Dad straight up stole my inheritance for Emilio. Then had the nerve to tell me I was a spare. I said I was going to make it hurt, and I meant it. So here's how I did it. First weird moment. Sunday morning after the party, house is trashed, beer bottles everywhere. Some randos passed out on the back porch. I go to grab my laptop and my charger still missing, but now my headphones are gone, too. I check the laundry room and find Emilio's friend scrolling through TikTok on my phone. I just grab it out of his hands. He tries to act tough. I just stare back until he gets the hint and leaves. I'm realizing, wow, nobody respects me here at all. Not even the guests. So, I go online and start digging up every bill. Turns out all the utilities, internet, water, trash, my name, like every single account. I pay, I control it, I check the lease. Yeah, I'm the only one who signed. Dad's credit was garbage after he defaulted years ago. I'm thinking, okay, if they want to treat me like a backup, maybe let's see what happens when the backup dips. But honestly, I wanted more than that. I wanted them to actually feel it, not just have me vanish and they scrape by. I wanted them to squirm. First thing I did was call the landlord. I tell her I'm moving out, not renewing. And there's no way Dad or Emilio can take over the lease. No income, no credit, nothing. She's annoyed. Says she'll send notice, but I'm clear. After 30 days, I'm gone and I'm not paying another cent. She says she'll call my dad to confirm. She does like an hour later and he's screaming at me from the kitchen, yelling about loyalty, that I'm ruining the family. I ignore him, slam my door. Next, I go into my bank account history and pull up all the transfers. I print everything out, every Venmo, every Cash App, every Zelle, all the times he told me he was job hunting and needed cash. I've got screenshots. I put them in a folder just in case. I'm not dumb enough to leave it in the open. Emilio's out in the driveway showing off his motorcycle, revving it like his hot stuff. I check the paperwork. I find the receipt in the trash. Honestly, classic Emilio can't even shred his own evidence. It's got my grandma's account number printed on it. So, yeah, that's all the proof I need. I take photos, send them to myself. Here's where I get creative. I text my Aunt Maria just to see if she'll budge and say, "Hey, FI, everything Dad's done with Grandma's money is traceable." She doesn't answer right away, but a few hours later, she's blowing up my phone with these long messages about how I need to think about the family. Don't do anything drastic, which is hilarious because where was this energy when they were splitting up my inheritance? I don't answer. Then I call the local bank. I tell them I'm disputing the withdrawal from the estate account. I wasn't given access. I wasn't consulted, and I have documentation. They say they'll look into it, and I send them scans of the check, the will, everything. I'm not a lawyer, but even I know this is sketchy as hell. Bank says they'll freeze the account for now. Just standard procedure. After that, I go through the house and start unplugging everything that's in my name. Wi-Fi router, unplugged, stashed in my backpack. I let the fridge and lights stay on. I'm not a monster, but streaming services, Spotify, Netflix, logged out, passwords changed, cancelled. Not illegal, just not playing nice anymore. Late that night, I'm in the garage boxing up my stuff and Emilio comes in acting all smug. He says, "Wow, you're really packing. Guess that means I get your room for good." I ask him if he's got insurance on that bike. He looks confused, shrugs, says, "Dad took care of it." I tell him, might want to check again. He gets in my face, tries to shoulder past me, so I push him back. He tries to shove me, but I'm not backing up this time. He calls me a loser. I call him a thief. He slaps my shoulder. I shove him into the wall. Dad hears the commotion, comes running in, yells at me to get out. I tell him to call the cops if he's got a problem, but he just stands there red-faced, fist clenched, not saying anything. The next morning, the landlord's notice is taped to the front door. Dad's pacing around the kitchen, ranting about how I'm destroying the family, screaming that I need to fix this. I grab my folder and leave for the day. I go to the DMV and ask what happens if a motorcycle is bought with stolen funds. They say it can be contested if I prove the money was meant for me. I don't have to file a report or anything. Just give them a heads up in the paperwork. I leave copies. I also Google how to report financial abuse on a will and I fill out the online complaint. IDK where it'll go, but it's something. By the time I get home, I've got like 20 missed calls from Dad, Aunt Maria, even my cousin Javier. Dad's left a voicemail saying if I don't fix this, he'll lose the house. Emilio will lose his future and the whole family will never recover. I delete it. Emilio's sulking in his room, won't even look at me. Later, I check the driveway. The motorcycle's gone. Dad comes storming in, asks me what I did. I say, I just made a few calls. He tries to slap the folder out of my hands. I grab his wrist, tell him to back off. He slams the door and locks himself in his room. Aunt Maria is texting me all night, telling me I'm being heartless, that I don't know what real family sacrifice looks like. I tell her, you want to see sacrifice? Try being the ATM for people who can't stand you. So yeah, everything's falling apart now. Dad's panicking. Emilio's hiding. Landlord wants them out. Bank accounts frozen. The bike's flagged for a title check. I'm not sorry. Not even a little. They wanted me to be the backup plan, the scapegoat, the guy who pays for everyone else's dreams. Nah, I'm done. They're finally feeling what it's like when I'm not their safety net. I know some people are going to say I went too far, but honest, I don't care. They made this bed. I'm just pulling the sheets off. Next part might be the last IDK, but I'm not finished yet. They're all begging me to stop. I'm just getting started. Final update. So, this is it, I guess. Last update. And honestly, it's not some neat bow. If you've been here since the first post, you already know my family's mess is the kind you can't just sweep up and call it a day. But I said I'd go all the way, so I did. Honestly, the first thing that threw me off wasn't even the screaming or the chaos. It was just quiet. Like, way too quiet. I came back to the house a few days after the fallout just to grab the last of my boxes and my old speaker, the one I bought, which apparently now belongs to the family. According to Emilio, the kitchen was spotless, which never happens unless something's really wrong. No music, no sports on TV, nobody yelling about leftovers, just silence, except for the fridge humming and the clock ticking. That's when I knew they were spiraling for real. I went to my room, or what used to be my room, and found Emilio's stuff half unpacked, half thrown in a pile. There was a dent in the door like someone kicked it. I didn't see him, just heard him moving around upstairs later, but he never came down. I could hear his phone buzzing through the floor just non-stop. I didn't care enough to check on him. Then my phone started going off like every 30 seconds. Aunt Maria, cousin Sheila, even my uncle Javier, who barely talks to anyone anymore. All these missed calls, and then the voicemails started rolling in. The first one was Maria. Her voice all shaky and weird, saying, "Blake, your dad collapsed in the hallway. Ambulance had to come. We're at the hospital now." She says, "If you don't come fix this, it's over for all of us, Blake. Your dad's asking for you. He can't breathe. He says you broke the family." I play it twice just to make sure I'm not mishearing. I almost laugh, but not really. Next voicemail is just Maria crying, begging me to come back, saying Emilio's locked himself in his room and won't talk to anyone. Apparently, he hasn't eaten since the bike got flagged and the landlord left a second eviction notice on the door. I didn't know you could even get two at once, but I guess the bank freezing the account didn't help. She says, "Please, you have to fix this. You can't just destroy everything and walk away." I just keep packing. Not because I'm cold or something, but because I know how this goes. My dad's always been dramatic. He's the type to make a scene and then expect everyone else to mop it up. I get that he's not just mad at me. He's mad at himself for losing control, for betting everything on Emilio and thinking I'd just play along. The collapse thing. IDK. Maybe it's real. Maybe it's just a panic attack. He's not dying. He's just finally got a taste of what it's like when people don't clean up his mess. I found my grandma's old photo album in the closet. I almost left it, but nah, I took it. If anyone deserves her memories, it's me. I put it in my bag and zipped it up. As I'm about to leave, Emilio finally comes out. He looks rough, like he hasn't slept, just stares at me. He says, "You really did it, huh? You ruined everything." I tell him, "You did that yourself," and walk past him. He tries to shoulder check me, but I don't move. He slams the bathroom door. I get one more call from Maria as I'm throwing my stuff in the trunk. She's just sobbing now. Says, "Your dad won't talk to anyone. Your brother won't come out. The family's falling apart. You need to fix this." I tell her, "I'm not your backup plan. I'm not your fixer. If you all want to pick sides, you picked wrong." She hangs up. Later that day, Dad calls from a number I don't know. I pick up just to see. He doesn't even start with hi. He just goes, "You happy now? You got what you wanted, right?" I tell him, "I just wanted what's mine." He says, "You're still a mistake. You always will be." I hang up. He tries to call back. I block the number. I know he'll find another phone, but I don't care. I moved out that night. Not to some dream apartment or whatever. Just a friend's couch for now, but it's better than staying in that house where I was just a wallet with a pulse. I'm not going to act like I feel amazing, but it's a relief. Nobody tracking me down for cash. Nobody guilt-tripping me with grandma's photo on the wall. Nobody calling me a spare kid. I know they're probably telling everyone I abandoned them, that I broke the family, but honestly, they broke it themselves years ago when they decided one son mattered and the other was just a backup plan. I just finally stopped letting them use me. So, yeah, that's it. Not a happy ending, not some inspirational story, just real life. Aunt Maria still leaves voicemails every couple days saying your brother still won't come out. Your dad's not eating. You need to fix this. I just swipe and delete. I'm not coming back. Not this time. No more backup. No more ATM. No more fixer. They wanted me invisible. They got it. Thanks for reading. I guess if you're ever in a spot where your family treats you like a spare, don't wait as long as I did to stand up for yourself. And if they say you ruined everything, just remember maybe it needed to be ruined.